Yo, you already know what time it is. Welcome back to another episode of Thinker versus Speaker, where I, Marissa the Thinker, sit down with different guests and we talk about all things, anything, everything, life, love, relationships, spirituality, literally whatever we want to talk about. So if you're into that kind of thing, strap up, tune in, and you know what I'm saying? Take this ride with us, because we talk about anything and everything. I'm going to go ahead and put out a general trigger warning now. I don't know what's going to trigger people, but if you easily triggered, you know what I'm saying? Do what you got to do. Hopefully you come back next week. And then we see you again. But on that note, we're gonna go ahead and get started. We got a special guest back today. Second appearance on the show. We got Miss Keara Okolo. How are you?
All is well, all is well. It's another beautiful day on this side of heaven in the land of the living. That's like my catchphrase.
I see.
It's like my thing. All is well though. How are you?
I'm good. You know what I'm saying? It's another day doing what I love. Traffic was trafficking. It has been a day, but we here. We making it work. So you know what I'm saying? I don't have no complaints over here.
Love that. Love to hear it.
Yeah. So what have you been up to since the last time that we talked? Tell us the updates. Tell us the people what they want to know.
So since the last time we talked, I have competed in the pageant.
Yes.
And I have recently gotten or received a promotion at work.
Oh, congratulations.
So thank you. So all the things, all of the things God has had for me are just rolling out right now. So the pageant, I did not win, but there was so much improvement. And I just had, again, the time of my life, and just being able to see my own improvement on stage and returning girls be able to see my improvement. And then, girls that competed last year shooting me text messages like, Key, bro, you really snapped off. You really did your thing. And then that internal validation, man, it was an experience like no other.
Yeah.
It was a true experience like no other. And then with my, with my job, I have known that I was getting a promotion, but it just set in and I actually started in the role on the 1st of June. But I had only been at my job for about 9.5 months and they decided they wanted to promote me. And that does not happen within the company. They've told me before that generally that happens maybe after you've been there for 2 years. But I hit the ground running so hard and really made some things happen more or less. They're like, you deserve to be moved up. And it's just they see me, they hear me, they acknowledge me, they appreciate me. Just these last few weeks, I guess it's probably been a little bit over a month now since the last time we talked, have been so impactful. And there has been so much peace around me lately, and real peace, not temporary peace, not these temporary fixes. It has been real life peace. And it's just yo, I did not know these things existed. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's okay. Like I said last time, if only I'd known that this is where I'd be, or if only I'd been a little bit more intentional sooner, I'd be here. But it's God's timing is the best timing. So just like I said, just these last few weeks, it's just been all love and so much peace.
That's awesome. That's awesome. I'm so happy to hear that. That's amazing. I was sitting in my car today and I was in this weird place because I was at work and I listen to music all day. I'm lucky enough to have a job where I don't get to talk to people. So I'm introverted and extroverted at the same time. So my introvert is just I don't have to talk to nobody for 9 hours. Cool. So I listen to music all day. So I was on my lunch break and I was just I don't want to listen to music anymore. I don't want to listen to music anymore. I don't want to listen to anything anymore. I just want to sit in silence. So I
Yeah.
was in my car and I'm literally just sitting in silence looking outside because it's like a bright, sunny day. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's a nice day outside. I'm in Texas. So, in about 5 minutes, it's going to be 100 degrees outside and it's not going to feel this nice. So,
Right.
so I'm sitting outside and I started journaling and I'm just like enjoying the moment. And the
Yeah.
fact that I was just sitting there doing that, and I was just like, I'm taking a moment to have just stillness and peace and
Yeah.
allowing myself to feel it. That's the
Yeah.
biggest part, is just allowing yourself to feel the peace.
That's
Cause
fact, man. That
yeah,
is fact. Like
yeah,
I feel like we don't think about that enough. We take it for granted that, you know how, like I was saying, I'm on this side of heaven in the land of the living. We take that for granted daily. And so to really just tap in and to enjoy the peace that you're given, gee, you
yeah,
cannot go wrong with that.
no,
And that feeling like that serenity feeling that you get when you're just like, I don't want to listen to anything. I just want to be present and I just want to take in everything that's around me, man. That's something different. Like that's a whole different level.
yeah,
Like you tap into something that you didn't even necessarily know existed. And it's like, I can really get used to this. I can really vibe with this.
yeah,
This is life. Okay.
yeah.
It.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. And like you said, it's really just God's timing, because it's just like I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for everything that led up to this moment, right? Because this is a moment that I would never take, you know what I'm saying, before. So the fact that I'm even here is just all a product of that timing. And there was even a moment where I'm just sitting there and I'm like, God, I got these feelings that I already know I don't have control of. You know what I'm saying? It's love. And I'm just like, you know what I'm saying? I don't have no control. Like I wish I wasn't feeling this feeling, but you got control. You got this. I have nothing. And it is just like, cool. Like even knowing like I don't have control, I'ma just allow myself to feel the good feelings, allow myself to feel the good things and just be like, yeah, I can feel love. I can feel content in where I am. I'm allowed to feel this happy, and that's all right.
Different. It's so different because it's like, when you're growing up, it's not that we're not taught to enjoy the moments, because we are, but I think we're so focused on the future. We're so focused on trying to get to the future and be this adult or be this whatever, that you don't take the time to just enjoy being where you're at, taking it all in, taking everything that you can learn in, and you miss it. And it's, and
Mhm.
it's gone before you know it.
Yeah,
So the fact that you're doing it, like we're doing it,
yeah,
that's huge. Like that is huge.
yeah. That's incredible. That's amazing. I'm glad to hear it. So I don't even know where to begin. I don't know if I want to start with the job, if I want to start with the pageant. Let's start with the job. So what do you do now? So what was your promotion? What do you do now?
Originally, I was program coordinator, and now I am program manager. So I have three people that are under me. So I have an intern for myself. Um, I have a boys program facilitator that's under me, and then the boys program has an intern as well. So basically, I am managing those three people. And then also, we have what's called a learning center, and I'm the manager over the learning center. So anything that happens in the learning center, so our boys program falls under the learning center. Any, individual services that I go out and facilitate or whatever fall under, fall under the um learning center. Any of the programming that either intern does falls under the learning center. And so I'm the person that's over all of that. And it's like, okay, in my head, I feel like I'm a big dog, like
Yeah,
granted, I'm not up there with the CEO, the COO. I'm not up there yet, but like I'm inching my way up. And it's just like, I see you, Lord.
yeah,
I have committed my entire life to you, from my husband to my job, to my dog, to my family and my friends. I've committed it to God in such a real way, not just the saying, oh yeah, I believe in God. Oh yeah, I go to church. Oh yeah, I read the word. Not just that, superficial surface level. It's like, no, I'm really about this.
Yeah.
And I have watched my life just turn. Like, I mean, I've always had a very interesting relationship with God, and it's always been a very raw and very real relationship. But it has, you
Yeah.
hear me? It
Yeah.
has grown into something even more real, even more raw, and it's just like, okay, I'm gonna keep doing this. I like this momentum. Where
Yeah.
I'm seeing the fruits of my labor. Like, I'm seeing the seeds that I'm planting are in good soil, and the seeds that are being planted in me, like, I'm the good soil. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, okay, Lord, I feel it, I see it. We vibing, we're doing it.
Yeah.
I'm keep doing this, and like, He's still sending me to go and do these different things, and it's like, okay, I'm being obedient, and it's like, I'm again just seeing the return on investment, and it's just like, yo, I'm 26, and this is the life I'm living.
Yeah.
I'm happy, I'm healthy, I have a roof over my head, I'm paying my own bills, I'm dealing with my car, like, I'm doing all these things that I remember sitting and saying, I wonder how people do that.
Hmm.
I remember sitting and saying, I wonder how people pay all these bills. Like, I wonder how do people adult? And now I'm doing it, and I'm doing it well. It's like,
Yeah.
okay,
Yeah.
okay. So all of that to say, that's how the job is going.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I can't skip past the faith part. You done got me lit on that part now. We can't skip past it because it's so real. And I think sometimes people, you can tell the people who know God and people who say that they believe in God, because it's two different things to know God and to know God. Okay.
Oh God. Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
because like I say it all the time, it's just like, yo, God is my father. And when I say God is my father, I mean that. Like,
Yeah.
I mean that. Like it's to a point where sometimes where it's just like I talk to God and it's a real conversation. It's just like, look, I don't
It's
get
like
this.
us having a conversation right now.
Yes. It's a real relationship. It's a real relationship where it's just like, look, I don't understand what's going on right now. I'm gonna give it to you because I don't get it. You know what I'm saying? I don't
But
get
you got
it.
it. But you
Yeah.
got it. You got all the control.
And
Go,
he
please go
showed up.
for it. Please go for it. Cause I don't wanna walk around with the weight of the world on my shoulders. Cause
No,
they not that sturdy. Like,
nah.
I ain't got it in me.
Yeah.
I ain't got it in me at all.
Yeah. And it works like that. And it's just like, and when you have that faith and you fully get that faith over and you really trust God, he can show you what he can do, but he can't show you unless you're willing to give it, if you're willing to give it over. Like I cried the other day because I was just like, nah, you really finna give me everything I asked for.
Like, that
Seriously.
is not even one of the most humble. Like, it's a humbling moment, but it's just like such a proud moment. It's like, yo, I really was disciplined enough to do X, Y, and Z. I really trusted you enough to do X, Y, and Z. I really let go. Like, I really stepped back and let go of all the control. I let go of the steering wheel, and I'm here.
Mhm.
Like, I'm not the one that's trying to control and ordain my life. I mean, at one point I was, for sure,
Yeah, I
but
tried. It didn't go well. It did
it
not go
didn't go
well at
well.
all.
I was chasing my tail too much, and it's just like, I don't got time for that. The only thing in my life that has time to chase this tail like that is my dog. It ain't me. You hear me? Like,
Yeah.
no, no,
Yeah.
no. So, I mean, I don't know. It's been a shift, and I knew a shift was coming, and now that I'm in the shift, it's like, all right, this wasn't as bad as what I was anticipating. It's like,
Right.
okay, cool, I like it. I
Right.
like the person that you've put together for my life. I like the peace that you've added to my life. I like the orderliness that you've added to my life. It's just like, we're doing this. Okay,
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah. Have you ever come across a moment where you've seen that life was harder because you were trying to fight what it was that he was trying to give you?
Yep. Yep.
Yeah.
It's like, you've seen those memes where it's like the little girl and she has like this raggedy teddy bear, and then there's like Jesus and he's holding like this huge bear behind him. But like you're so fixed on keeping what's comfortable, what you know, that you're not trying to let it go. But he has something bigger and better. You just gotta let the little thing go.
Hmm.
That's what comes to mind when you say that. Like it's like I'm fighting. Like I know that there's something there. I know that I could be potentially getting something so great, but I'm so used to this comfort and I'm so terrified that what if it's not? What if it's not that great?
You read my life and you don't even know it. Yeah.
Well, well, hey, the Lord works. He'll speak through. He'll speak through and make you hear him loud and clear.
Absolutely.
But yeah,
Absolutely. Yeah.
I know the feeling. I know the feeling so well.
Yeah.
So well.
Yeah. And like that's the thing that got me going on this road. And even for that, I'm grateful. You know what I'm saying? Even for those things, I'm grateful. Because it's just like you realize that moment when you realize it's just like God is trying to give you something so much better. Let me
Hmm.
let me change. Let me
Yes.
just trust. Let me just trust for it. Let me try something different and just
Yeah.
trust instead of trying to rule everything and control everything. And you know what I'm
Yep.
saying? And that's where my growth has come from, which circles me back around to what you were saying about the pageant, because you were saying the growth. So like let's talk about this experience. Like what about it? Now you said it was different. What about it was different from the last time?
So I mean, everything was different. Last year, I was so focused. Well, one, I did not know how to manage money at all last year. So anytime somebody would give me a donation, I'm blowing it. Anytime somebody would talk about sponsoring me, I'm blowing the money. Like I'm not saving. I'm not being smart with the money. I'm going stupid with the money that I have.
Mm,
This time around, I had a GoFundMe account and then I had a second savings account that was solely for pageantry, solely. And I looked at stuff for a longer period of time before purchasing things. Um, I was conscious about how much I was spending on a dress. I was conscious about how much I was paying to get things altered. And I'm gonna pause right here because this lady tried to charge me $385 and my dress was $412. I might as well have gotten a new dress.
yeah. At
So,
that
I was paying attention to stuff like that. Um, and so I feel like that helped me go into the weekend with a clear mindset because I still had money. I was still able to take care of some things that needed taken care of at the last minute. Um, like I was able to afford things that I didn't know were going to come up, but
point.
like God prevailed and he provided so that when those things did come up, I was good. Like I was still set. I was not worried about anything. So that's number 1. Number 2, I was calm. Like
Hmm.
I was really calm. I was at peace with what I had practiced. I was confident in what I practiced, and I knew that I was a force to be reckoned with. Like I went in with the mindset of I'm a force. I hope I don't scare you, but I'm a force. Like I'm still a sweet person. We're still cool, but I'm a force.
Yeah.
Like I'm here. If that makes sense.
Absolutely.
So
Yeah.
that was different. Whereas last year was just oh, I'm so bubbly. Oh my gosh, I just can't wait. And that's cool. That's cool. Like that's great. That's a great mindset to have. But you still got to be a force. So that was another thing. So money, conscious of money, came in with the attitude that I'm a force, and then I was just super like attentive Like, I was paying attention to the people around me. I was present in the moments when I needed to be present in the moments. I was paying attention to my body, like inwardly, like how my stomach was feeling, or if my head was bothering me. I was really paying attention to how I was feeling. And I showed up so strong. Like,
Yeah.
when it came time for me to get on stage, from the very first time, when we were just practicing, when I was practicing, I'm going full out as if it's showtime. So much so that videos that I received looked like it was from the show, but it was from practice. Like, videos that I posted on my page, a lot of them some of them were actually from the show, but some of them were from practice. But because I was that intentional and
Yeah.
that serious about what I was doing, you couldn't tell the difference. So I guess intentional. I guess that's the next one.
Yeah.
And then I talked about, the last time we were on, that I had blinders on and I was focused, and I stuck with that. I really did stick with that. So first night, Saturday night, we get there, or not Saturday, we'll just start Saturday. We did our registration, our check-in. It was different than last year. Like, last year they had us sitting and kind of waiting. This year it was go, 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 go. There was no sitting around. There was no waiting. It was, you moving your bags here. You can go talk to your family for a little bit while we get the rest of these people checked in. But once everybody's checked in, we finna get it to rolling. And so you really have time to sit in your thoughts, that worked for me, because the more that I have time to sit in my thoughts, oh baby, I'm thinking about what I'm eating 2 weeks from now. You know what I'm saying? Like, I did not have time to just sit in my head, which was really nice. And then also, like I said, I was relaxed. So Saturday, we had practice, we ate, we did all the things. There's a saying that they had us do before we went out, and it was it? I'm a tiger and I can whip the world, or something like that. And like that, like, it got me like, okay, here we go. Gonna go whip the world or whatever. And getting excited. And then as soon as I hit stage, as soon as my foot hit the stage and it's time to walk, the force turned on. It turned on fast. It was like night and day. Like, I took my time while I was out there, and it was such a noticeable improvement that, I mean, of course, my family, they're going to tell me what I want to hear, but they're also going to be like 110% real with me. Yeah. And they're like, key, because I would text my husband and I would text my best friend when I'd be backstage, like, okay, give me updates, what we think. And they're like, keep doing what you're doing. You got it. You got it in the bag. Keep doing what you're doing. I'm like, all right, bet. So went through and did everything Saturday night. Afterwards, we go back to the bus, and they're giving out everybody's hotel keys and all these things. And this is when things hit the fan. So they don't have my key because some things happened with the front desk people, and so they mixed up a lot of rooms. So I had originally got 2 rooms for Friday night to Monday, but one of them registered for Friday night to Monday, and the other one registered for Saturday to Monday. So that was all mixed up when I got there on Friday, but we got it figured out. But Saturday when we came back, somehow they ended up giving me a key, me and my roommate, a key to the room that my mom and daddy's in. So like, no. So they give it to us, and I go and I'm like, Mom, what room are you in? And she tells me the room number. I'm like, well, that's the room number this ain't right. So I take now, and I'm tired. Like, I am delirious, like out of it. Take it back to the woman, and she's like, okay, yeah, that probably won't work. Your parents probably do not want you to. Good point. So they got it all figured out, and me and my roommate, we ended up going up, and everything was cool. Like, I had a chill roommate. She was really nice. She was really smart. Like, this is a sidebar, but she sent something up into space. Like, she's into like all the things like space related. And I'm like, yo, amazing. I really like that. But anyways,
I used to want to
so
be a
that's
rocket
where,
scientist. Didn't work for me, but I used to want to. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's really cool. Um, so that was Saturday. So Sunday morning comes around. I'm vibing. I'm chilling. Like my interview is before her interview. They had me scheduled for 9:20 for my interview. Um, I'm vibing out. I'm getting my makeup together. Like I'm doing, I don't have a lot of hair to do. So, I'm just getting my stuff together. And it is 8:59. And I'm sitting and I'm journaling. And the same lady that I had that helped us get the room key situation figured out calls me and she's like, "Hey Keara, we're running a little bit early. Would you be are you what did she say? Are you far enough along to be able to come down maybe 5 minutes earlier?" And I'm sitting here like, yeah. But like mentally, I'm like, no, I'm not ready. I need to sit here and finish journaling and finish getting myself together. You guys said 9:20, not 9:05.
Yeah.
So now I'm like kind of frantic or whatever. And so I'm trying to calm myself
Yeah.
down. And I ended up being fine. I went, they really weren't ready for me, but it was okay. Got down there, I prayed, I calmed myself down. I saw, did I see my mom? I think I saw my mom and my husband, like a glimpse of them. And then it was time for my interview. And this year going around, I was so relaxed and I was just comfortable and confident in what I had to say. I went in and I always say good morning to anybody or hello or good evening, good afternoon, anytime I walk in the room, regardless of if like I feel like they should speak to me first, like I'm always going to speak to somebody first.
Yeah.
And so that just opened up a door for casual conversation, if you will.
Yep.
And it just felt like a conversation. I have one of my coworkers, I texted her and I said, it's interview day, like interviews at 9:20. She said, it's not interview, it's conversation day. So she got me together and helped me reframe. And I'm like, okay, cool. Walk in, and that's what it was. It was a conversation. They were really interested about my job because I had put a lot of information on my like bio sheet that they got to read beforehand. So they asked me about my job. They asked me where my confidence comes from. And they asked me, no, they said something about when I answered where my confidence comes from, they had mentioned one of the words that I put down to describe myself, which is force. And they were like, we see it. And they just kind of complimented me on my performance and so on and so forth. And so I get out of the interview and I bawling because one, I was proud of myself, but two, I could feel the presence of God in there with me.
Yeah.
It was not me.
Yeah.
Like I feel like if there's a believer listening, they understand.
Oh,
you know
yeah.
what I'm saying? Like it just was so different. And I'm just out here emotional. The Miss Missouri at the time, Miss Missouri USA 2022, she came up to me and she's like, how was it? I'm like, it was great. And then she wanted to hug me, and that's when the tears started. So we walked away and we got to talking or whatever. And she's a believer too. And so she was like, take it for what it is.
Yeah.
Stay in this moment. Of course, fix your makeup, but stay in this moment, stay present in this and really enjoy this happiness that you're feeling. And I did. So then it was time to go over to the theater and get to hit practice for that day, for Sunday, and do it all over again. So Sunday evening comes and it's time for showtime. And like I was saying last time, Sunday is basically cut day, right? So you find out if you make top 12. Last year was top 16, last year was top 16, and the 16th person was the people's choice. This year it was top 13, but the 13th person was people's choice. So technically last year was top 15 and this year was top 12, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So you go out and you do your fun fashion, and then you stand there and you hope your name gets called. I'm standing here and my name got called. I'm like, let's go,
Yeah.
Jesus. Thank you. Like, Marissa, I am almost in full praise break backstage, but I
Yeah.
have to change. I got to keep going, but I'm almost in full blown praise break
Yeah.
backstage because it's just like, yo, this is a step closer to the crown, right? This is a step closer than where I was at last year. Like, there's growth. Like, I see it, and some other people see it too. Okay,
Yeah.
cool. So I got to go out and I got to perform again, and they didn't choose me for top 5, but I was just so happy with
Yeah.
top 12. It's just like, Lord, you prevail every single time.
Yeah.
You know, it's just like, oh my goodness. And so um they do top 5, and then they got it narrowed down to 2. And the 2 girls that they had, I mean, they were both forces as well. The one that ended up winning, she's actually a good friend of mine.
Oh yeah.
We're in the same sorority. Like, that's my girl. Like, we were each other's backbone throughout the pageant. Like, she had left her phone at the hotel. She couldn't find it anywhere. So she was on my phone, calling her dad, calling all these people to try to help her find her phone. So, like, we were each other's support. Like, everybody was very supportive of one another. But me and her, I don't
Yeah.
know, we just had a different connection. And so it was just like, I was extremely, extremely happy for her. Like, she won, she competed last year with me as well, and she won the um best interview award, and she won it again this year, and then she won the title. And I'm just like, yo, like, this is super exciting for you. I ended up winning People's Choice.
Yeah.
I won top 13, and then I also won the Miss Congeniality Award. So
I can see that.
girls vibe with me. It's like, okay, cool. Like, this is decent. I ended up reaching out to the pageant director to ask if I made it to top 12 because I won People's Choice, and I did not. I made it without People's Choice. So I was going on regardless of if I had People's Choice or not. And it was just like, you know, just hearing these like small victories, if you will, these small victories, it was
Yeah.
just like, yo, this has been worth it. All of the things that have happened, like, some shit really hit the fan during that weekend, but like, all the things that happened, I could have cared less about because I saw myself grow. I saw God's hand in everything.
Yeah.
And I was proud of that. Like, there weren't any tears. I mean, I might have had like a few tears of happiness because that's just how proud of myself I was. Like, it was a me thing. Like, that's where I was at. Like, of course it was a God thing, but it was a me thing. It was an internal, like, it was a lot of internal validation for myself. And that's what it was. You know,
Okay.
that's simply what it was. And it's been amazing since. You know, like, I mean, my girls at work, they watched it, and you know, they were kind of sad when I came back, and I'm like, well, I didn't win. They're like, why? And I'm like, it's literally fine. Everything is a-okay. But I mean, just seeing how excited they were, and once they realized, oh, you did that, you won that. Oh, that's really cool. You know, just that, and then, you know, my village is strong. I mean, you're a part of my village at this point, and you know, just seeing how everybody just had so many encouraging words and so many like positive things to say, in addition to my own validation, in
Yeah.
addition to the validation God gave me, it's like, yo, this this could not have been a better time. Like, there was no better time than that. It was great.
That's
So I
amazing.
don't know if I'm going to compete again, but this was amazing.
Yeah. That's
Absolutely.
amazing. That's incredible. That's incredible. I loved everything that I heard, and I'm not just saying that. Like, it's genuine, because it's so much that comes with it. It's just the growth comes with it. You know
Right.
what I'm saying? Like, from these experiences, you get to walk away with so much more. than just a title and these like worldly like accolades. Everything that happens is internal. And like when you have that faith, you understand that it is internal. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's just, it's so much more than that. You know what I'm saying? It's just like I get to walk away with the confidence of knowing what I did and how far I've come and what I've done. And that's kind of what I'm hearing from what you said. And it's a lot that I picked up in that time. But I think I want to capitalize on the internal validation aspect of it, because I feel like there's so many people walking around the world that seek validation from the outside. And I was one of those people, you
And
know.
I was too.
Exactly. So, and it's like you seek that external validation, not realizing that the only validation that matters, well, there's two forms of validation that matter. It's the validation from God and the validation of yourself.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? Like that's the only thing that matters. Because everything else is gonna come with it. My bad.
Fact. No, you're good. That's a fact. You know, this is gonna spiral into something else. I'm spiraling now, with this internal validation.
Yes.
So my husband, we would kind of, I won't say get into it, but it was a me thing. It was a me thing, and I'm like, yo, why won't you post me? Why won't you do this? And he's posted me, but why won't you do it the way that I want you to? And he ended up asking me, why is that so important to you? Why is it so important to receive somebody else's validation? Why is it so important for somebody else to validate our relationship? Somebody that's not in the relationship. Why is that so important to you? And let me tell you something. When I tell you, one, I was mad, but then two, I was humbled. Like, excuse me, sir, you're not going to call me out, but thank you for calling me out, because you're right. I need to fix that. But, you know,
Yeah.
after you said that, it's made me look at everything. And it's given me new perspective to be like, you need to fix up just a little bit. And you need to really learn to value yourself, and not value yourself because somebody else values you, but value yourself because you're worth being valued.
Yeah. When it comes to external validation, it's almost like it's like one of those moments where you really have to ask yourself, like, why am I looking for this? You know what I'm saying? It's not until somebody really puts it in your face for you to look at that.
It's like, no, I'm okay. That I don't care if they like my post. But if you only got 2 likes, there's a chance you're taking it down
Look,
because you're seeking that external validation. And it's like, that is a hard ass pill to swallow.
absolutely.
It's like, I've been saying, I've been telling all these people to find it within yourself, to love yourself. Da, 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 da.
Yeah.
But in reality, I'm not even doing it. Like, and it's in its fullest. But now, now,
Yeah.
after having that hard pill to swallow, I mean, it's changed.
Yeah. Yeah. I would actually go through phases, because look, this podcast, if I was seeking external validation before, this will break you right here. You know what I'm saying? This is what worked to humble me. But it was what I had to learn, because there would be times where it's just like I know it, but actually embodying it is a
Mm-hmm.
completely different story. It's a
Mm-hmm.
completely different story. Like I would have times where it's just like, bro, I feel like a fraud because
Yeah.
I'm looking for these likes. I'm looking for these likes. I'm looking for the thing.
Yeah.
And it ain't coming. And when it don't come, those are the moments where it's just like, I don't even want to do this no
Yeah.
more. But but
Yeah.
but it's not about that. You know what I'm saying? It's not about that. Like those moments where I was looking for that extra validation, it's just like, No, I don't need it. Because
Yeah.
if I was to stop doing it, I'd be miserable.
Hmm.
Because it's my purpose. It's what makes me happy. You know what I'm saying? It's almost like my test from God, right? Where it's just like, are you doing this because you want the attention? Or are you doing this because this is what I told you to do?
You saying it, you speaking, because we do that so often. We're a people that want attention. Simply put,
Yeah.
I mean, we've had it our whole life in some way, some form, some fashion,
Hmm.
and we still want it as adults.
Yep.
But it's like, okay, so how long you going how long you gonna seek this attention?
Yep.
You gonna turn it around and actually do what I'm telling you to do?
Yeah. Yeah. It's almost like we need permission for things that we shouldn't need permission for.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And that goes even back to the feeling where I just said, where it's just like I feel love. And it's just like I want the validation for my feeling, but I've been put in a position where I can't get it. I literally just have to feel what I feel and own what I feel and let God have it,
Hmm.
you know? And that
Hmm.
is not easy.
It's not, because
This
we're, I mean, in addition to us being people that want attention, we're people that want control.
yeah.
We want to control the outcome of everything,
Yeah.
everything. And it's like, no, no,
Yeah.
not at all.
Yeah. Yep. And that's really what that's what taught me. I don't know about anybody else's life, but that's what taught me because I had to learn that I'm not in control anymore. And life is easier when you stop trying to control everything and you really exercise that faith that we claim to have.
That is a fact, bro. It's like, it's a weight, like I said earlier, it's a weight lifted off of you. Like, when you try to control everything, you try to have all these plans for yourself. You try to do this, you try to do that, and it don't work. And then eventually you get on the path that, God had set up for you anyway, and you realize, oh wow, I'm really not struggling. Like, I'm chilling. Like, this is decent.
Yeah.
If only I'd have given up control a long time ago and let the purpose prevail, then I wouldn't have had to go through all the heartache. I wouldn't have had to go through all the headaches. But they say a hard head makes a soft ass, and after you you fall on it so many times, eventually you want to do something else.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. And then having that faith also, this again is going to go back to something that you said about the pageant. It allows you to be present. It allows you to be present and enjoy those moments because as you were speaking about your experience in the pageant, all I got was being present, being present, being present, being present, being able to just show up as you are and understanding that this is enough and I am exactly where I'm supposed to be because I am here and that
yeah.
is enough. And I have been prepared for all of the things because another note that I took was the preparation. You know what I'm saying? So do you think that the past pageant put you in a better position for this one?
Definitely, because it gave me exposure to what to expect. I knew exactly how it was going to run from front to back, because this is a business and they do not play about their brand. They do not play about their business, and they are straightforward with it. And so I knew there wasn't going to be, like, I knew there might be some differences, of course, those are to come. But for the most part, I knew exactly how it was going to run. And I remember last year I'd be present, but I'd also be too far future focused. And now I'm not present. Like, if I'm so focused on what's gonna happen tomorrow, I'm not even present to walk on stage right now. You know what I'm saying? Like, so having had that experience, that made that easier. And then like last year, I prepped for like 6 months. Like that was a lot of prep. I
Yeah.
mean, sure, yeah, it was my first pageant to this degree. Cool. But this time I prepped for a month and a half, 2 months, and I came out stronger than I did prepping in 6 months.
Yeah.
It goes to show that everything I learned within those 6 months and everything I learned from last year carried over well enough for me not to have to practice so intently the way I did for the first one. And like the things that I learned from last year, I embody those now. Like it's a lifestyle now. I mean, something as simple as like my posture and the way that I'm walking when I'm going places. Like before, I'd walk with a slouch, and that did for me, that does not give a confident look. But if I'm upright and got my head up and looking like I'm a force more or less, it gives off a better view, I guess you could say, a better view of confidence. But like just having that in my mind, I think that attributed to all of the preparation that I didn't necessarily do leading up to. And it's like, if I'm doing this prep consistently, leading up to like for 2 months or whatever, by the time it's showtime, it's muscle memory. And I haven't had to wait so long.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it's cool to wait, but like, yeah, you may lack off somewhere. You might start slacking off somewhere. And I know I did that big time last year.
When it comes to things like that, you know what I'm saying? When you think about the experiences that we have that prepare us for the things that come in the future, we wouldn't have these things if we weren't not afraid to fail.
Right.
You
You're
know,
right.
and that takes us back to the first episode, because if you didn't have the first experience, you wouldn't have the second experience where you
Right.
get to flex that muscle and show all of these things. You know what I'm saying? It's like when we walk around fearing failure and not wanting to have these experiences or scared of what can happen, what we lose is all of this,
Yeah.
that faith building, that ability to be present in the moment, being able to just enjoy these experiences. You know what I'm saying? That mindset shift to even think of something where it's just like, no, failure isn't real.
Yeah.
It's not
It's a
real.
social construct that you made yourself believe, and it's just like, believe something else. You have the ability, do it.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, man, this has been great. Literally, like the growth, like I said from the beginning, the growth has been everything. Like, I did not. I know last year I experienced like heartbreak. This year, it was like, well, I guess I got my heart prepared. It was like I had a new heart posture. I had a renewed energy, a renewed something kindled inside of me. And it's just like, I vibe with this.
Yeah.
And I know if I'm to compete next year, I know that there's going to be added growth. Like, I know that.
Yeah.
It's just like, yeah, God, I see you. I see your hand all up in this.
Yeah. Yeah. And it could be preparing you for something you don't even know yet.
Exactly. I mean, I know that I'm destined for greatness. He's made that abundantly clear.
Yeah.
Whatever that may be, I don't know it yet. But
It's something there. You can't walk
it's
around with that much anointing on you without nothing being there.
can't,
No.
can't, can't. And I say that in the most humble way.
Yeah.
Like, I know that there's something there. I mean, I walk in the room and my light shines. The light that he placed in me, it shines bright. And it doesn't dim anybody else's light.
No.
It's there to amplify other people's lights. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, that was a word for me. Let me write that down.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Look, because it's a different place where you get to, and this is the part that makes me so grateful for the growth, right? It's the part that makes me so grateful for my growth in my own personal life, because sometimes as we grow up, we experience things that, like, you're born a light.
Yeah.
Like, if you have that light inside of you, you were born with that light from the minute that you were created. And we go through certain experiences in life that
Yeah.
dims that light, and we don't even realize it. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? We're children. We don't have control of our environment. We don't have control of people that we come across. We don't have control of those bad experiences. We don't have control of what we didn't know, of putting ourselves in certain positions. We don't have control of any of that. And we see that light dim. And then when you find that faith, and then you get those mindset switches, and you start walking in faith, and you start operating that way, your light starts to get brighter and brighter and brighter, and you see it as something different. It comes back. That light that you always had, it comes back, and you get to experience something new. So like now, I've not only found my light, and I thank God for finding my light all of the time. And not only do you get that, you get to get away from all of the things that made your light dim, and then you
Yeah.
get to attract other lights, other people that are lights, so you can see more light in the world. And I always tell people this about their environment. It's so important to change your environment, because if you are always dealing with people that are trying to dim that light within you, you can't do what you came to do, because we are meant to be the light in other people's lives. Some people are trying to put that light out in you because they know you making it brighter. They don't want to see it. They don't want
Talk
to see it.
that talk. Say that because that's fact.
Yeah,
And that's Bible as
yeah,
well.
yeah. You shining a light on the things that I do not want to see. You are shining a light on the things that I don't want to see. Right. And then once you get away from it, once you understand who you are and what you were given, you know what I'm saying? That's how you know. It's just like, I'm not saying that I'm a light because I think that I'm better than anybody. No, I'm the same as all of you. I see your light that you don't even want to see. You don't like my light because it's making you remember that you got one too, and you don't want to shine it. Like, you know what I'm saying? That's not my fault. You know what I'm saying? I'm here to help you see it. And I can
Yeah.
understand why you triggered by this light in me right now. You know what I'm saying? And then we need other people with the light too that's gonna check our shadow too. So we could be like, I did miss a spot, didn't I? Like, hold on.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I mean, and that's the beauty of it because it's just I think the word is illuminating.
Yeah.
It's just a lot of illuminating of different lights. And that's what it should be. I mean, darkness is scary. Like I don't want to be in a dark room. I mean I like dim lit rooms, but I want my light to shine bright in that dim room. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
oh my goodness.
Yeah.
My goodness. I talk in metaphor, so this is right up my alley.
Oh, yeah. Okay. We're just friends.
Right up my
Okay.
alley.
I love this. This is what I'm here for. This is what I'm
A
here for.
real,
You know,
a real
I love a good simile. Okay.
that's
Well,
period.
yeah,
Period. And that's on, high school teaching or something.
yeah, look, okay. Like I talk like a grandpa, and I'm not ashamed, okay?
Oh, same. Same. Same.
I will bring this back to something that's unrelated, but also related. Don't worry. I got it. But but I have to ask, because I took a note of this too when you were talking about the pageant. You said you had the question of where your confidence comes from. Where does your confidence come from?
I wish I could go back and change the answer.
Okay, we get to
I
hear
wish
the new
I could
answer
go
now.
back.
It's an exclusive.
But the confidence, I mean, it's so cliche to say it comes from within, but it truly comes from within. After learning to love, after learning to love myself inwardly and outwardly, and validate my feelings inwardly and outwardly, it shaped something in me. It's put something in me. I mean, of course I had those experiences, those unfortunate, unforeseen experiences that helped shape me as well. And, of course my village pouring into me helped shape me as well. But truly it's that inward search and that inward gut check and that inward, self-understanding that's really allowed for my confidence to shine, and like just really tuning in with myself. I mean, it's really gotten me here, truly, like in real life, not the fake stuff. You know what I'm saying? I mean, having people have the hard conversations with me, like I was talking about my husband, talking about the validation piece, like that helped build my confidence, truly. Looking in the mirror and being proud of who I see, inward and outward, that's it. That is truly, truly it. That is truly where my confidence comes from. And that's all I can say.
Do you think
This whole
until
conversation. Wait, I'm sorry, what'd you say?
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you, but I said, do you think confidence starts with self-love?
I would say the real confidence does, yeah. Because I mean, you can fake it till you make it all day. Hell, I've done that. I've faked confidence, or I thought I was confident, but I was still second guessing everything I was doing. So was I really confident? I was faking it. You know what I'm saying? I loved myself, but did I really love myself, or was it just another facade or another mask that I was putting on? When I finally took the mask off, when I finally was done with the facade, it's like, you need to love you. You really need to love you. Like something I tell people when they ask me why I cut my hair, it was because I needed to see myself. I needed to see my face so that I could love my face. And it's the same concept. You got to cut all these masks. You got to cut the facade. You got to cut through the bullshit and really see who you are and really love that person. And then your confidence comes.
Yeah.
Drops mic.
Yes. Do that.
Yeah.
And I mean, and yeah, you on the money with it. You on the money with it. Because again, that's where that self-validation comes from. That's where that ability to do it, it all stems from the ability to love self fully, truly, and authentically. Like I got a tattoo like 3 years ago on my arm. I don't know, it's probably too dark and I'm too dark, but it's a woman taking a mask off and she's crying. You know what I'm saying? She's taking the mask off and she's crying,
Yeah.
And I didn't, huh?
I like it.
Thank you. But I didn't fully understand the meaning of it at the time. At the time, I just knew it was just like, you know what I'm saying? It felt like, it's just like, I know how I feel on the inside, but that's not how I show up on the outside. You know what I'm saying? I didn't understand the concept of wearing a mask. I didn't understand that I was putting on a facade to the world. I just knew that how I felt inside was way different than I showed up to the outside world. I didn't realize that I wasn't loving myself. I didn't realize that I wasn't confident, because I could go to work and show up and show out. You know what I'm saying? I could put nice clothes on and feel good and fool you. But you know what I'm saying? But you can't fool it to the real people. You know what I'm saying? There are some people that can see straight through that. You know what I'm saying? And they knew, and I knew. You know what I'm saying? I knew what I was feeling on the inside. And it was like the experiences that I went through that actually made me start reflecting on all of these things. And it wasn't until I hit a moment where it's just like, look, I'm tired of looking for other people to love me. I'm tired of looking for other people to give me that confidence and that validation. I'm tired. I'm
It's
tired.
draining. Like, why am I looking to someone else that's not me to make me feel proud of me?
Yeah,
Like, where does that make sense? Because it doesn't.
it
Like,
doesn't.
truly. I mean, I feel like as a society, we've learned to cover up so much stuff. But when you unlearn that and you learn what's actually healthy, it's like, oh, this is attainable. Okay, I
Mhm.
want to do more of that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And to the point, right? Where where you sit and you think, and it's just like, God, you really about to give me a life where I can be happy. You really giving me a life where I could be at peace.
Yeah,
You've given me a life where I can have love and financial stability and independence, everything that my soul has been longing for, the holes that I've been looking for other people to fill in my life. You're filling it. Even though I might fight you sometimes
yeah,
about it. You know
yeah,
what I'm saying? Sometimes I don't want to do what it is that you tell me to do. I don't want to be obedient, but I know that if I do so, I'm going to get it because I can see myself getting it. If I look at my life today versus the life that I had literally yesterday or 6 months ago or 6 years ago, I have things that I've asked for that, you know what I'm saying, that at one point in time unattainable to be
we're
able,
literally sitting in what we prayed for.
literally, literally, like what you said, like when I walk around now, it's just like if I could be at Walgreens with my head up, not looking at my shoes anymore. And I've done that. I spent my life walking around looking at the ground with my
Yeah,
head in my phone. So I don't have to talk to anybody. So I don't have to make small talk. And now I can walk around and make eye contact with you and not know you and say, hey, how you doing? How you doing today? And we can have a casual conversation and I can go on about my business. And that actually becomes the highlight of my day, something that at one point in time I ran from, because you never know what will happen. And,
yeah,
and that all comes from the ability to love myself and be like, I'm good. No matter what happens, I'm good. No matter
yeah.
what happens, I love myself. I'm gonna be good with myself. I'm gonna be content with myself. I'm going to sleep at night. And even if things aren't exactly how I want them to be, I know that I'm taking the steps to get them there.
Come
So I
on,
can
somebody.
feel in that.
Come on, somebody. Yeah, I mean that, like, for real, that's it. And it's funny because I say this and it's like, I wish I would have known this when I was 14. Wish I would have known this when I was 16. I wish I would have known this when I was 18. And we had people around. I know I had people around trying to tell me.
Yeah,
But when you 14, you know everything. You know the world. You know how everything operates. So what they got to
absolutely.
say, wrong. But as you get older and you start to unlearn those concepts and you really learn right from wrong, if you will, it's like, yo, had I just listened to Big Bill, I'd be fine.
Oh, yeah,
But it's like, it's a learning process. It's a learning process. And, the learning curve is what it is. But what it comes down to is God is a good God, period, point
absolutely.
blank.
Absolutely. It's so funny when I think about it now because there have been times where in this journey where I look back on it and I'm hard-headed. I'm so stubborn. I'm so stubborn. Like I said, I was the 14-year-old that thought I knew everything. And me and my
Right.
dad are similar, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? My dad's been on the show before too. So
Yeah.
if you know, you know. But like we're similar to the fact that we can bump heads too. And I hit a point in my life where it's just like, man, he was right though. Like it's just like, dang, he was right. You think about that, it's like, dang, he was right again. And it's just the stuff that I would get mad about when I was like 14, 15, 16. And it's just like those are the same things that kept me out of a lot of trouble. All right, I can see you now. I can see you now. And yeah, yeah. And then
Oh,
I can look at my circle and then I can be like, oh, I'm reconnecting with people that I was cool with X amount of years ago. And then I fell out with them when I was going down my other path. But now that I'm coming back around, all these things were already in place, laid out before me.
there is. I think I had to read this in a scripture yesterday, and I don't know which one it was. Um, but it said you can make many plans, but the Lord's purpose will prevail. And like that's literally what you just said.
Mm,
You know, you can go down all these streets. You can sit in all this traffic. You can, do all these things and it don't work out. But the moment that you decide to say, okay, Lord, take it away. Now it's like, well, you've prevailed and here we are. Had I just listened in the first place, I probably would have been here
yep.
sooner. But we gotta learn the hard way or whatever. I'm the hard headed one as well.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. God's timing is the timing. You know what I'm saying? God's timing is the timing. If there have, I would be lying if I said there were times where I haven't like kicked and screamed, because like I said, me and God have a real raw relationship. I
Right
tell
there
the
with
truth. I tell the truth. If I'm mad, I'm gonna tell you I'm mad, and I don't want
Yeah,
to sin. And you know
yeah.
what I'm saying? And then 6 months later, I'll be looking and I'll be like,
I
I
should
apologize.
I should have got over myself. Thanks. My
Yes,
bad.
that's that ego dying again. I thought we were
Yeah.
done with this, but no, 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 no. So, with all that being said, what's next for you now? What are things looking like for you now?
I'm going where the Lord takes me. Honestly, truly. I mean, I'm just looking for more growth opportunities, more or less. And whatever comes with that, I feel like I'm just being open to whatever is to come, truly.
Yeah, yeah, and it's a
So
good place to
I
be.
don't have a plan. I do not have a plan. I don't have a plan at all, and I am content with not having one.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. It's a good place to be. It can probably sound scary to some.
yeah.
Fun place to be. It's the
Fun.
devil. It's the
I
huh?
don't know about fun. Fun's kind of scary. No, but
Yeah,
I get what you said.
yeah. Because I mean, it's the unknown, right? So I
Yeah,
guess it's the daredevil in me that likes that part, but I'm
because
also terrified.
we're fearless. It's a double-edged sword.
It is. It's like I'm terrified, but I'm also very intrigued to see what's
Like,
about to happen.
I want
Yeah,
to see what happens. Yeah, no.
because I mean, you already know. It's like at this point, you already know. It's just like you ain't gonna drop me, and even if I bump my head, I ain't gonna get hurt that bad. So
So let's go for it.
yeah, like why not? Why not? Let's just see what's gonna happen. Because how
See,
many?
and that's oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, you're fine. But like that's what one of the guys, Dre, he was on an episode. He
Yeah.
in his episode, he said, you know, if God didn't leave me when I didn't know any better, why would he leave me when I'm being obedient?
Hello. Hello. And that goes right into what I was getting ready to say. That's the beauty of faith. That is literally the beauty of faith. Like, all right, I might hit my head, but I still got my ribs intact. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? I like
Wear a helmet next time.
exactly. Exactly. But it's just, and like Dre was saying, if he kept me out of harm's way, when it should have been me, when it could have been me, And now I'm walking in the authority that he has aligned for me. What? What? You know what I'm saying? Like the beauty of faith.
Yeah. I think you
The
just
beauty.
named an episode.
Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. That's probably gonna be my next caption on Instagram. I ain't gonna lie to you.
Yeah, well, it's the next episode too. Dropping next week. Okay.
Love.
But
That's love.
yeah. I think on that note, I'm not gonna take up too much more of your time. I love these conversations. Like,
We can do this offline anytime too. Just throwing that out there because
good.
I like to have like these type of conversations. They're inspiring, one, but two, I like being around like-minded people and that think in a deeper manner than the surface level. Like, okay, let's go under the surface.
Yeah,
So let's take a deep dive into
yeah.
12 things and see what happens. Like I really, you feel me? Like I really value the like conversations like that. So
Look, I see some ways that you get me. I want to talk to you outside of this. So
here
I
for it.
yeah, no, definitely. And I did, like I said, I appreciate the connection. Forget the episode. I appreciate the connection. Like,
On
seriously,
me.
let me tell you how strange God works, right? Like,
True.
you reached out to me. I was
Mhm.
actually in a space where I was just like, man, God, is this really? I was questioning it. I was literally sitting there questioning it. I'm like, God, because I was lacking motivation at that
Yeah.
time. And I was just like, man, is this really it? I was just going through one of my little spells. The moon was full.
Yeah.
I was going through a spell. And like
Yeah.
literally, like I didn't want to reach out to anybody. I didn't want to pursue any new episodes. Nothing of that. I just didn't want to do anything. And then your team
Hi.
came in.
Hi.
Yeah. And it was just like, and I took that, I took that as the sign because I'm literally sitting, I'm questioning it.
Yeah.
Like I'm praying, I'm questioning it, and then I get a text, and God is just like, "What else do you need from me?" And I'm just
Do
like,
you do you need me to send a lightning bolt to you for you to understand? Because this is the lightning bolt
it,
at this
it
point.
it was the lightning bolt, and that, and you know what I'm saying, and again, like sometimes God works in that way where it's just like you need a little kick. All right, cool. Here's a little kick. And it works in strange ways, but when you get it and you understand, because it's just like, you know, some people will see it as a text, like, nah, it's so much more. So
Yeah,
much more. Like
that's fact.
it's that, and you know what I'm saying? And that's what gets your energy back. And it's just like, yeah, I hear you. This is what I'm supposed to be doing. Let's keep going.
Like I can rock with this. I can roll with this. Let's do it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So on that note, we're gonna go ahead and wrap this thing up. Thank you
So,
for coming on. Do you want to let people know where to follow you on social media?
of course, feel free to add me on Facebook because I am clearly 62 years old at this point in my life. And that's Keara Okolo, KearaOkolo. And then on Instagram, Keyni0903. So KEYNI0903. And those are the places you can find me.
All right, cool. And if you're looking for me, you can find me at Marissa Y17 on Instagram, Marissa the Thinker on Facebook and YouTube, and then Thinker versus Speaker at Thinker versus Speaker on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. So if y'all enjoyed this conversation, definitely make sure you like, comment, share, subscribe. Let us know your thoughts on the conversation. I'm gonna get it out eventually.
There
But
you
yeah,
go.
let us know your thoughts on the conversation, and you know what I'm saying. And if you got anything to add to the conversation, definitely make sure you leave it in the comment section. And on that note, I think we're gonna go ahead and get up out of here. What you say, Key?
Sounds good to me.
All right, cool. I'll talk to you next
Thank you.
time. Not a
Have a
problem.
good one.
You too. I appreciate you.
For sure.
All right. Bye.